You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beers talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Battered Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordi, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Danny, I'm sure you'll be back. Welcome to another episode of the Battered Herons Podcast. I am your host, and alongside me is not Danny. He stepped away just for a quick moment, had to handle a couple things, but he should be back pretty shortly. If not, I think he may be entering the building. Now it feels a little bit more normal.
Chris, the Herons are back.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
So I don't know what you got to cover so far.
No, I just got in. I just started it up, and now the regular teacher is here, and now the kids have to be nice.
Oh, wait, you were telling them to oh my god, I forgot what it was. Was it when 148? Was it?
No, 145.
145.
No, we're not gonna 145, Eric. We're not gonna 145.
Oh,
Eric.
okay.
Thank you, Circus. I did hold it down for.
And I love the way you spell Chris.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that circus fun. I don't do that.
Is Allende playing tomorrow? That's the question of the day, because he is going to be a big time component if he can. He's somebody that we're going to miss dearly if he cannot play. But I haven't heard anything. I would sacrifice his calf. That's just me. Me being selfish.
Allegedly, news breaking. Michael Donnelly says yes. So put that in the paper.
That name, and I think Michael Doliak. Remember Michael Doliak?
Yes, I do remember Michael Doliak. Very, very tall center. Very useless center. Very useless guy, Michael Doliak.
All right, so let's see. We didn't get to talk to Erik. Well, we were just on his show, so we came on a little late. We didn't get to talk to him about the red card. So I'm very interested in what he's going to say about the red card that never was, and how that kind of led itself to the result. So I'm curious. Now, I will tell you, the more I've thought about it over the last week, that red card wasn't on a potential goal that we scored, right? Like, it wasn't like red card, oh, he screwed up our goal scoring opportunity. And so like, it wasn't anything like that. Like, it was just random in the middle of the pitch, should have gotten a red, ended up scoring, but really it didn't affect the play. So, I mean, we didn't deserve to win regardless. So,
I mean, we didn't deserve to win because we didn't play that great, to be perfectly honest. Hazel was asking, how's the weather for tomorrow? The weather looks great for tomorrow. By the way,
it might rain tomorrow.
No, from what I see here, it's not projected to rain. I mean, maybe you have another app.
It's projected to rain 85%, but I don't know what time in the day. It says for the nighttime it shouldn't. So
just so you guys know, on Ticketmaster, if you guys buy a ticket, it's $50 at the moment. If you guys decide you want to go out there, and
I thought we were sending everybody tick picks.
If you're gonna take my tick pick, then you need to pay $97 with all fees all in. So there's my tick pick.
All right. Without further ado, let's bring on the man of the hour. We did a preview of the preview just because we like to focus in on our guest. And today's guest is, oh man, I forgot the name of the actor. I was going to bring him in as the actor, and I always forget his name. Something Hartnett. Josh Hartnett, I think it is. That's going on? There you go. What's going on, Erik? How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Better than you guys after the first leg for sure, but it's not as well as I could have been. I do think 1-0 is, that's not really enough to hang your hat off against Miami, which as I said last time on your show, I think this Miami team has a legitimate argument as far as like the best MLS side in the history of MLS.
But that would make this
Well-
the losing this even more egregious, more embarrassing.
Yes.
For you.
Right. For us, of course. No. You guys are right
Every-
in that what's it called? That Atlanta high right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess without flooding the votes for like goal of the week, which was so annoying when they were doing that.
By the way, Erik, everybody loved your appearance when you came on with us during the game when you called us from the stadium. It was
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it was really cool, and there was a big showing of LAFC fans, even though there was a lot of Messi fans, but it was a really cool showing. So
Yeah, no, it was for us in the stands. It was really fun. I mean, it's I'm not sure if this is a phenomenon you guys have. I imagine with like Messi, it maybe could be, but generally, only Liga MX teams really show out in our stadium where we're sitting at like 30% plus our opposing fans, and the Miami jerseys. I know a lot of them may have not necessarily been Miami fans as much as they were Messi fans, but there was a lot of pink jerseys in the stands. And so, the worst is when your house gets invaded like that and you lose and you got to hear the trash from visiting fans, as you're sitting in your seat that you've sat in for years and years. But luckily we didn't have that. So.
I don't think you would have gotten that anyway, just because, like you said, they're not really Inter Miami fans; they're Messi fans. So I don't think you would have gotten too much trash talked anyway.
Well, I was talking a lot of trash during the game.
Oh, okay, well then, yeah, you probably would have gotten it back.
People were threatening. Yeah. I'll tell you guys. The first thing I did, and with all the homer in my heart, is because my seats are right by where the visitors warm up. And so I was walking down there as they were warming up, and the section was completely mobbed. Even like the stairs going down were crowded of people filming Miami warming up and Messi. My seats are like the 7th row, basically right on the edge of the box. And so I got to my seat, and everybody's filming. And the first thing I did was yell, "Hey, Messi! Fuck you, Messi!" Like super loud, and everybody turned around like shocked because they're just there. And I'm like, man, I mean. This is my house.
You can't not do that. Yes.
No, you can't. People are like, oh, you can see the greatest of all time, and I tell my grandkids, I cursed. I said F-bomb at the greatest of all time, and he heard me. So your grandpa's the goat over here. No.
Well, I mean, that happens all the time. Danny and I sit in the first row of our section, and people they just monsoon that area right in front of us. It's like sometimes we can't even be able to see what's happening.
Yeah, I've never seen that in the 8 years I've been going to our games. I've never seen anything like that.
Have you guys been around 8 years already?
Yeah, 2018 was our first season.
Yeah, wow.
This is year number 8.
Guys.
Let me tell you something, guys. Tigres literally scored one goal, right? It was reported here, Gus, Tigres score, Circus Fund, Tigres score. And then Circus Fund a second later. Holy crap, Tigres scores again 2-0. So Tigres right now is mollywhopping LA Galaxy.
Nobody expected the Galaxy to actually win, bro.
Fuck Carson. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah. So the first leg. Yeah, the first leg. Go ahead.
I want to get straight into the controversy. Erik, what do you think about the red card?
I think that we were incredibly lucky that he didn't get sent off. For me personally, I think Chris probably will agree with me, at least maybe both of you will. I like a more physical game. Sure. Looking at that happening, I mean, you have two guys off the ball that are going at it with each other. I don't think it was like really an elbow to the face as much as he was kind of pushing away and his arm glanced him, and they were just shithousing. And so
you gotta be smarter than put your hand towards his face, though.
Of course. No, of course. It's not a red card that I would like to see change a game like that. However, the majority of the time that happens and the majority of the time it goes to VAR, the ref's going to pull a red card and they're going to throw it probably 80-85% of the time. But this is what is known as getting CONCACAF'd. And, the refs, I believe they were from Trinidad and Tobago, if I'm not mistaken. And
from Jamaica.
Were they from Jamaica?
The ref is from Jamaica, and
Chris was cooking up conspiracy theories.
I thought
Yes,
I thought they were TNT, but okay.
So we beat Cavalier, which is a Jamaican Premier League team,
Oh, look
in
at
the
this.
last round.
Look
This
at this.
guy, who was the lead referee, has reffed 13 games for the Jamaican Premier League, and is Jamaican. I don't know how. And on top of that, ever since a referee was hustling Messi to get a jersey, the referees have hated us ever since. So you put that
I
together
agree
with
ever since that happened, referees are very careful with the way they call our games because they don't want to be viewed as giving us any favors.
Okay.
and on top of that, you put the Jamaican ref in there, and it's a wrap for us. I'm not taking off my tinfoil hat, Mr. Krabs. I'm not.
Yeah, the part of it, my thought on that, I thought they were TNT, but regardless, the league that he's in, you got to look at like what gets called in that league, and a lot of the Caribbean countries, like what it takes a lot to get a red card in those places. I mean, sometimes 2-foot studs up tackle don't even get them. So sometimes, it's just what they're used to officiating. I mean, that's me putting a silver lining on it, but we're really lucky that he didn't go out. And for Ordaz, he's an academy kid, you can see pictures of him. He was a ball boy, like back in the day. He's from there. And so he's just starting to get his real minutes with the first team. And that was the biggest game. And so to see an academy kid that's worked so hard to get there kind of fall for that is, that was almost, it was so out of character because I don't think he's ever gotten a straight red in his entire time here. So, but it would have changed the game. And I think, it would have definitely made a less entertaining series than we have for sure.
Well, I mean, the sports gods always make sure that they do some type of controversy, right? Because obviously he doesn't get sent off, so obviously he's going to be the one to score the game-winning goal to just cook up the drama.
That was an off-footed. He's a lefty, by the way. That was an off-footed shot.
Oh, look at that! And Falcon just gave him all the space in the world to take that shot. But
yeah, he did. I mean, look. Falcone probably knew Ordaz was a left-footed shot, and like if that was Olivier Giroud, I think part of it with Ordaz being the academy player is the Miami defense didn't give him the respect, and he
they definitely gave him that shot.
They gave him a XG like 0.2 or 0.15 shot, and he happened to roll craps on that.
Listen, I'll tell you this much, and much appreciated to Petruccio with a smiley face or whatever. Much appreciated. So
I know that you guys were heavily rotated this past weekend.
Yes.
So what's the team looking like this weekend? Is everybody going to be healthy?
I believe everybody's going to be healthy. David Martinez kind of got subbed out towards the end of the last Houston game, but I don't know if that was really he felt anything or if it was just preventative. But no, otherwise I think everybody's going to be good to go. And Marlon Santos, our center back, came back from injury and played last game as well. Not sure if he gets in there, but he is probably our best center back and very under the radar because he's very injury prone, and that's why he's even in MLS to begin with.
Huh. Okay.
Well, I was asking about Giroud. Giroud, started last game against Houston, but
yeah,
I don't see him.
He's a fucking depth
in the starting lineup.
That's how you know that he's bad is when they're doing heavy rotation to get their players rested. He's getting the start.
Full 90
his start of the year.
Full 90.
Full 90. Look at that.
Yeah, no, Giroud, I don't think is going to see the field this game. No, it'll be Ordaz starting, and after that they will probably drop in Martinez and rotate the front three, which is really they like interchanging front three. Giroud can't interchange, he can't press. He's got very nice hair, but otherwise that's about it. And then there's Jeremy Abobasi, who's been injured. If he's up, he's probably the option before Giroud. Giroud's probably like our fifth forward in the depth right now. He's the LA Higuain.
This guy, WrestleMedia, you have to take that. You gotta rethink this, WrestleMedia. Trade Giroud with Suarez. LAFC doesn't even want him seeing the pitch.
Yes.
Torres has had it.
Please, now.
But does Russell Media an LAFC fan or an Inter Miami fan?
Well, maybe an LAFC fan with the way that he's talking here, but I mean, we've seen him here around.
There you go.
Well, I mean, Wrestle Media saying we have Obando, the myth, the legend.
I'm not familiar with
I don't
Wrestle
know.
Media.
Yeah. I'm relatively new on here also, so it sounds like he's a Miami fan, and I don't know, Obando, 18-year-old, and then his first chance. Again, I don't want to kill him for messing up that opportunity, but you can't put him out there in a game like this. Like, you really can't.
Well, my question here is: are you guys going to clog up the middle again? Because that was big for you guys.
Yeah, and part of that is another new player of ours, Igor Jesus, who is a fantastic Brazilian 6. He's one of my picks to be a good shot at like making MLS best 11. Assuming Busquets probably really is the best 11, but if it wasn't Busquets, I think Igor Jesus should have a good chance. He played the best game of his career, and he's had a lot of really good games, to be fair to him. Huge upgrade from Ilie Sanchez, as much as we love him. You can see he is a great dribbler, and not only that, I mean, he really made Messi's life difficult in the midfield. He dispossessed him a lot. People, I think some of the LAFC fans wanted to say he pocketed him. I don't think that's quite true, but I definitely think that he slowed down and disrupted Messi a lot. And when he would get the ball, his touches were going to another LAFC player. It's not like he dispossessed them and second balled it back to Miami. Like, he was tidy with it. And whether he can play that game again, because again, he's played good games. That was by far the best he's played for us. And it was probably the game we've had with the most people watching. It was the biggest spotlight. So we'll see if he can do another game like that. I mean, he's 20, 21, 22 years old. He's going to be leaving our league if he continues to do what he did there.
It felt like every time Messi got, because Messi can dribble around anybody, but every time he got through one or two defenders, there were another 2 or 3 defenders standing right there. And our issue was that we didn't go wide. You guys gave us the wide areas. We didn't take them. We didn't take shots from the outside. And I think all those things change tomorrow. Knowing Dolo ball, you've been watching them for, well, not Dolo, but you've been watching LAFC for 8 years, Dolo for the last 3, I guess. Do you expect the same game plan from LAFC?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. And especially if you look at who rested, both of our fullbacks, Ryan Hollingshead and Sergi Palencia. Palencia is a La Masia guy as well, so he's pretty familiar with a lot of the Barcelona guys. But they're both very defensive-minded fullbacks. They're both not good crossers. Hollingshead plays inverted. His only good thing he does on offense is set pieces and crashing the box. But I think they're going to be playing very conservatively and basically playing a lot of defense, which is they're good to do, and they're on a week's rest now. So I think with that, they'll be comfortable letting Miami go wide and knowing that they should be able to support pretty well. Also, Denny Bouanga and Cengiz Under have been very good at getting back and playing defense as well. Like, those guys, a lot of hustle. They don't just stand at the center line. Like, they get back and work on defense. And so I think they will be clogging the middle and then relying on the wings and the fullbacks to make sure that the edges don't get too threatening.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to bring this up because Mascherano at the end of the game against Toronto mentioned that you guys have an advantage of having an extra day of recovery. Right?
Did he say that?
Now, yes, he did. He did. Emphasized the fact that LAFC.
Then maybe he should rotate our roster. That might help because LAFC not only had an extra day, they had an extra week basically because they didn't play anybody their last game, whereas we ran out Messi 90 minutes.
Well, again, I was going to ask you, Erik, do you think that one day of critical rest is going to be that? I don't believe it's that important. And on top of that, like you said, Danny, he shouldn't have started 70% of his starting lineup.
No, I think it will in this case. Maybe not necessarily always, but one thing with LAFC is they stayed in Houston to train the day after the game. So let me go back. When we won the cup in 22, we had a run to the final in 23 of Champions Cup. one that we came up short. We came up short in all of our finals. And Trundolo was a new coach to the league. You know, his entire career was in Germany, just like Mascherano's entire career was in Spain. And where I'm getting with this is, for example, when we played the Cup final, the flight from Los Angeles to Columbus is a farther flight than from London to Moscow. And the beginning of that CONCACAF Champions League, within the first 4 months, our team traveled 38,000 miles. Now, Giorgio Chiellini in our team, who played 17 years at Juventus, that 38,000 miles of travel was more than his entire 17 years combined at Juventus.
Wow, really?
All competitions, wow. Yes. So Dolo, being from Germany and also used to this small local travel in Europe, he put out the best 11 every single game, just like Mascherano is doing, because I think they are a little naive to how bad the travel grind is here in North America and how far the distances are and how much time gets spent on airplanes and how much that affects recovery. And seeing it this season now, we are absolute trash in league games, but we're doing pretty well in Champions League. So, you know, Trundolo last time we just ran out of steam towards all of our finals. This time, he's basically just, he's prioritizing one over the other, which is what I was screaming for back then. And so this, to me, I see a lot of what he was doing with Mascherano, and again, coincidentally, is new to the league. So we'll see how it goes. But again, as I said, this Miami team, in my opinion, is the best MLS team to ever be assembled. So that, maybe they are the ones that can just keep smashing through it. But I don't know if they're starting to look tired with the Toronto game or whether they're starting to wear out, but our guys are going to be pretty fresh.
In the Toronto game, I actually thought that they looked pretty good. They had 23 shots, 9 on target. They had 2 goals called back, one for offside, one for a foul. Sometimes you have those games where you play a decent game, good enough to win, and you end up with a draw anyway. I felt after that game, I actually felt better about the LAFC game because I felt like they were doing things that we needed them to do last game against LAFC. And I feel like, okay, Toto Aviles, our center back's taking shots from the outside. Redondo's taking shots from the outside. I feel like we're gearing up for this game, and I felt better about the game after Toronto game than I did before the Toronto game.
Yeah. No, Trundolo, our team is built to suffer, and that's what Trundolo has drilled into them. He said, "We're going to win games, but we're going to suffer, and you have to be ready to suffer." And so far on the big moments they have, what's going to be very telling early on in the game is how LAFC's touches are. If they have a lot of poor touches and lose the ball, just sloppy giveaways, it's going to be a really tough day for us. The one thing with the first leg is we were very clean with all of our touches, which for the home team usually is. If we can keep our touches clean on the road, I think early on, if you see that in the first 10 minutes, you're going to be in trouble.
I know we're not doing predictions yet, but I'm going to give you one quick prediction. Tillman's going to turn it over, and it's going to lead to one of our goals.
Oh, God. Honestly, I can't even argue with that because
that I see happening. I don't know why you guys keep running Tillman out there.
Yeah, I don't either because we decided we wanted him instead of a Tuesta, which is crazy.
Your boy in Orlando, he's killing it.
I told you he's a good player, man.
He's killing it in Orlando. Yep.
Yeah, man. So much slander. I deal so much slander. I mean, look, I got my Tuesta jersey on right now.
Well, I thought you were gonna show me a Tuesta tattoo. I was about to say, damn, this guy's for real.
No, look at that.
Oh, nice, Tuesta jersey. Okay.
See, I'm Homer all the way, but yeah. So we don't have a facilitator. So Tillman is one of the guys that has the. He can pass the ball backwards, but yeah, he loses the ball. Delgado and Jesus are really good, but yeah, he's definitely one of the big concerns.
Mm-hmm. So what player do we watch out for? Because I don't expect you guys, even though you should, put David Martinez on the field. What other player?
Bench him again. He's going to be coming off the bench again, probably.
Which could be a gift. I mean, it could help out. So who can we watch out for?
Man, I will say that Cengiz Under, man, he played with a lot of fire and emotion that game. He had emotion that I hadn't seen come out of him before. I think he's going to be the guy to watch out for on this game. It's just a gut feeling. If we get one, I think it's going to come from him. Everybody knows to look out for Boanga. Everybody preps for Boanga. But dealing with both of the wingers, it can be tough. So, he's my guy that you're going to have to look out for. Igor Jesus as well. If he is anywhere near the game he had last week, he's going to make it really difficult for Miami.
I will tell you that last week, Jordi Alba was not as involved in the attack, right? Like I said, they were giving us the wide areas, and Jordi Alba wasn't attacking that. That's usually his bread and butter. But because of that, your right wing didn't have a lot of room to work with. I think Jordi Alba is going to be a lot more aggressive. Therefore, whoever's out in the right, whether it be David Martinez or Under, is it Under or Under? I assumed it was Under.
I think it might be Under. I know his first name is Cengiz because somebody from Turkey said it's like Django Unchained is the first way.
Wow,
it's like it's like CENGIC, but yeah, they said the first like CEN in Turkish is like the DJ sound.
It's got those little things on top of the U, so I think it is Under. Maybe I'm saying it completely wrong.
I do think that whoever's out at the right wing has a chance to make a difference, much like Bernadeschi against us this past week had a chance when Jordi Alba was pushing up. Bernadeschi is probably one of the better right wings in the league, and he was doing damage with the space that Jordi Alba was leaving behind him. And I think that if you guys have a chance, I think it will be from that left side. I mean, that right side, I'm sorry.
Well, before I guess we get to how we could win, Danny, I mean, Hazel's asking a good question. Are LAFC fans traveling for the game tomorrow? Do you know of any groups
my next
that are
question,
traveling?
Hazel.
Yeah, no, I would imagine like with most that you're going to see a good contingent of LAFC away fans. I'm not sure how big it is. It is a midweek game, but I did see in my LAFC chat group that right after that game, there were round trip flights for around like $160 to Miami. So
not bad. Holy crap.
Bad. And you were saying the tickets for the game are like $50.
Yeah.
They were at one point they were 25 and they're doing giveaways for noisemakers. They are doing a giveaway for people that show up and they're on their seats like 15 minutes before the kickoff. If you're there 15 minutes early, they're giving you some type of giveaway or entering you in a raffle. There's something, I forget what it was, but they're giving incentives for people to get there early. So Miami wants people to show up and they want them to show out early. How that's going to work on a Wednesday, I don't know. But if they were playing in Miami, I'd try to make it out to the game. But it's a 1 hour drive on a regular day. On a weekday, it's 2 hours, and I'm just not going to make that trip on a weekday.
Yeah. Now, and not only that, but they're listening to our advice, Danny, with when we said about the those the vuvuzelas, whatever those are. I mean, I've been dying to have the vuvuzelas.
So no, those things are terrible.
Well, I don't know if that's what they're gonna do but they're gonna use. But I know they're using some type.
They did put a trumpet. They put a trumpet, a little emoji on their sort of propaganda or whatever. So they're gonna give away a noisemaker.
Well, they're doing something, and they're trying to incentivize because they definitely want people showing up and making noise, and they want to make it real because these just all the champions, all weekday games across this league are just terribly attended. So I respect that they're going for it and they're trying. So we'll see.
We did have a packed house last. I know for you guys it started at 11:30 p.m., but they did have a packed house for that game.
Oh my goodness, I remember.
Yeah, no, I mean it was the most packed I've seen that stadium all year was last week.
I don't want to derail the show, but real quick, Erik.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Kevin De Bruyne?
Somewhat. He's pretty good. Okay. I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard he's pretty good also. The Inter Miami fan base is so effing spoiled that there's people that could get one of the best midfielders of this century, the best one probably over the last 10 years. And there's so many people that are saying, I don't want him. He's 33 years old. How, people? How?
I mean, look, like Modric, how old is he now? People last year were
Modric's like 30. No, but Modric's almost 40.
Yeah, he's like 38 or something, and he could probably still do it. But
I take him too. But De Bruyne at 33?
He's 39.
Yeah. I guess here's my question on this. Like, can De Bruyne and Busquets work against a bunch of 20-year-olds who are running their ass off against them. Like, can they deal with that grind anymore? I know they're smart, creative players, but are they going to have the physicality? That's my big question on that one. I mean, regardless,
I think De Bruyne can. Yeah, look, if you're not putting him out there to play the 8 role. If you're bringing him out there, you're putting him as an attacking midfielder of some capacity. And then again,
Moonman, we have older people in the midfield right now.
And maybe Moonman's thinking like this season, but this is like a
what
future
position? So let's say you get De Bruyne. Like, what formation do you play?
I think they stick to the same formation, and Messi goes out wide like he usually plays. Like he's always played, right? This is the first year that they move him, at least with us, to the 10 role, right? He's usually at the right wing, but they put him at the 10. But then you have De Bruyne running that 10, and then you have Messi out on the right.
Well, I think they're like Messi is a 10 right wing. Like Carlos Vela for us was also a 10. He was like a 10 right wing.
He's positionless. He's positionless. But could you imagine them two linking up with Suarez in front of them? But anyway, it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind that people are saying that they wouldn't take him.
You have discovery rights, so I love discovery rights.
I was trying to look into how I was going to call MLS today to figure out how they do it. Like, do teams send them an Excel spreadsheet? Like,
no, you literally just call dibs. If I was Inter Miami, I would, whatever process they have to do to call dibs, that's basically what it is. You're calling dibs. I would call dibs on Mbappe. Just call him already. Like, hey, whenever he decides to come over to MLS, he's ours. Call dibs on anybody. I don't know how many people you call dibs on.
I always see people who like they want to like shit on discovery rights, and like to me it's like the ultimate. It's like sports gambling that front offices can do, because it's basically just like they're just gambling. Like this dude would be cool. So it's like when somebody comes up, they're like, who do we have on our board? Because now we just got $250K worth of gam to like sell the rights off. Like, to me, it's just kind of a hilarious game in a game, and it's so random. Like I said,
the limit is 5 people.
Chicago ended up with
it's 5. It used to be 7.
The limit is 5 from the research I did today.
Okay.
And A said he wants to dislike. I don't know. I guess he doesn't like the KDB talk. But
can I mention something, Mr. Krabs? Erik doesn't need to watch European football. Okay.
Yes,
guys,
is true. I know.
Like, let me tell you something. Ligue 1 is garbage. The German league is garbage.
Yeah. The only European I'll watch European if a player I like from MLS goes there, or if a player from Palmeiras goes there. Like, I've been watching some Madrid when Endrick plays, because I've been watching him since he was 16. But I'm kind of a support local guy. For those who don't know, my wife's from Sao Paulo, so we get into the Brazilian league, and then we like MLS. And I'm an MLS dude. Like, sometimes I'll turn on games like Nottingham. They have like Danilo played there, so I'd watch that. And for sure, like the European, like those guys, the way they touch the ball is incredible, But for me, like MLS is playing. Just entertainment. It's drama. I love the drama and the storylines, and it's a lot to keep track of. The J League.
Wait, Danny, you were going to mention
somebody said that I don't only like big names. I'm not the one that's constantly calling out for like all these big names. You must not have been watching this show very long. I'm not that guy. But Kevin De Bruyne, you're an idiot if you don't want him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Ace.
I've wanted Rony from Palmeiras for the longest time. Like, that's who I wanted to replace Vela. Like, Rony would kill it in our league. I don't think he'd ever come to the U.S.
Well,
nobody here knows who Rony is. Mr. Krabs, I don't watch the J League. Just Otani. So there you go.
You know who I do want from Palmeiras? I want Richard Rios.
Oh, dude, he has no business being in South America anymore. That guy is a beast. The reason he's there is because Layla is paying him, because she's trying to stack up for the Club World Cup. Because if you don't know this about Palmeiras or South American teams, the Club World Cup is the ultimate prize. Because maybe once every 5 years, a South American team will upset the Champions League winner, And for Palmeiras, they've never won the Mundial. And Corinthians have won it. Flamengo have won it. A lot of teams there have won it, and they have been holding it over them forever. And so for them, this is like the sorest thing. So they're spending a ton of money on players to try to make a run at the Mundial this year.
Well, just so you know, whenever I have you on the Battered MLS Fan Show again, I'm going to rock my Richard Rios kit because I got the Palmeiras Richard Rios.
Oh, yeah.
So next time I got you on, I'm going to have to rock that for you.
Yeah, or Richard Rios, as they would say.
All right. We got off track. That's my apologies. I just saw the Kevin De Bruyne, and I'm like, it's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable. But I get it. With the current roster, I get it. But you got to think long term. You cannot pass him up knowing what's coming, right? Busquets probably won't be here past this year. Suarez probably won't be here past this year. You got to think about the future a little bit, and I'm sure you can figure things out with the current roster. All right.
Yeah, I mean, if for the people who are against him, I mean, I'm kind of like fuck Griezmann at this point with LAFC because this is a saga for a year and a half, and I'm just like, now it's like, oh, maybe after World Cup, I'm like, man, fuck this dude. Like we have respect ourselves as a club. Like some of these European guys think that like we're just gonna like fucking simp for him,
Yeah, it's true. So how are we winning, Danny?
I'm sorry, just one real question. I watched Pirlo play in the MLS. Kevin De Bruyne and Pirlo played decent. He didn't play well. He was old. He couldn't run.
Gerard was shit. Decent. Gerard was like a complete bomb.
Right. And Pirlo was old. He couldn't move. And one of the best passers ever. He couldn't move. Kevin De Bruyne is light years ahead of where Pirlo was when he came over here. And Pirlo was decent. Kevin De Bruyne can kill it here. All right. So you know the scenarios, right, Erik? 0-0, you guys move on. 1-0, extra time, and then or PKs if Miami wins 1-0. And then everything else, any other result, you guys move on if we win by less than 2 goals. That's it. Well, I guess you wanted to ask how Miami beats you, but like I think we've already said it, right? We got to go wide, and we got to take shots from outside the box to kind of open up that low block, that compact low block. How do you see things playing? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I think the other thing which is harder on your side to predict is that the other way and easier for me is that somebody like Tillman makes a mistake,
Oh, that's happening.
You don't game plan for the opponent to make mistakes, but as a home team, it's like you worry about your guys making the mistake.
So how do you see this playing out, Erik?
Man, how I see the same thing on the show, I think we're going to grind out a 0-0. If Trudlo does one thing well, it's play defense and have the team suffer, and it's going to be a lot of suffering. Maybe, yeah. I think a 0-0 is how we're going to win this. If we get a goal at all, if we get the first goal, it's going to be really, really, really tough for Miami because
it's going to be brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to score 3 on a low block.
Yeah, but if Miami scores first, so I was saying we've lost every game that our opponent has scored first, and we've won every game that we have scored first. And in a nutshell, that's how Dola ball is. We play very defensive and very tight, and our positioning is really good on defense, and that's something he drills, and that's something we do pretty well. So I think if Miami does score early, my prediction is this will go to extra time and Miami will put us away in extra time. And that's what I don't want, but that's kind of, I do think that we're going to be tough to score on again.
Well, so what's your prediction? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Danny.
Well, I was going to say, so your prediction is basically low block, make things as difficult as possible for Miami, and then grind out a 0-0 win. And if Miami scores, it'll probably be in the latter part of the game when they finally figure out a way to make it through. But it's going to go to extra time. I find it very hard to imagine Miami winning by 2.
I think for Miami too. I mean, if we're playing a low block, Miami if they're still going to need to respect our transition play. So it's not like we go into roll block, they can dump everybody forward. They're going to have to be very careful because we're going to have Under and we're going to have Bouanga just waiting to get sprung. And those guys, if they go up, I know the Miami defense and back line has improved from last season, but it was a pretty low bar last season, So I still think Miami's it's not a top defense, but they're not a bottom of the league anymore. I think they're kind of a middle of the league, and we can still threaten that.
I feel pretty good about Miami's defense. I think Miami's defense has looked really good this year.
Let me give my
Chris.
prediction, because one of the first predictions that came through is Matty Ice from SoFlo Soccer. 3-1, I'm with it. 3-1 is going to be the score that I'm going with. And we're going to pack it up and we're moving on to the next round. Mr.
Scoring
Krabs
3
says
goals
3-0.
on that low. I mean, depends on when we score that first one. Because if we score 1 and then somehow we get a second one, LAFC is going to open it up. And then it does open it up for a third or fourth. So, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But
our attack has not been good.
no, it hasn't. I'm going to go 2-0. I think we score early, the first 15, 20 minutes, keep everything honest, and then we don't have to press as much, which doesn't leave us susceptible to the counter, and then we eventually get a second one.
I mean, Rubita's predicting a 5-0 win with an Obando hat trick.
Obando is our brand new backup striker. He got on the pitch for the first time this past Sunday night against Toronto. Last 20 minutes, he had a one-on-one with the goalie, and he had Messi wide open to the right. He touched it to his left. Heavy touch, blew the goal, didn't pass it to Messi, and everybody hates him now. He's 18 years old. Fandom is crazy, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And if he would have scored that, it'd be like, oh, start him over Suarez.
Yes.
I mean, a game like this, do you put your brand new backup striker in for a long time for them to get 5 goals?
No, she's joking. She's joking, but I don't think that I don't think he sees the pitch. I will tell you this: if we won,
Mascherano's biggest challenge.
Yeah.
No way. The biggest challenge is going to be the next 2. If we get past the LAFC, we're going to play 2 Liga MX teams.
Look,
well, right now at this moment, it is.
Oh, up until this moment. Okay, yes.
I think that if you do go through, he's, my worry for you guys is still like his naivete on squad rotation, and I think if he wins, he might just continue to double down, roll out the best 11 again, and then you're playing Pumas or Vancouver, and the dudes are really worn down at that point, and that's when shocks happen.
Well, luckily Messi seems to hate Chicago, so maybe he probably won't travel to Chicago for whatever reason. He just hates that place, so he's yet to travel to Chicago. He's probably not going to do it this time either, and then maybe he doesn't travel to Cleveland to get ready for Pumas, what I would assume is going to be Pumas, but we'll see. It's we still got to get past tomorrow, and it's an uphill battle. I do think that they win 2-0, but it is I haven't felt this for Inter Miami yet, right? I'm a sports fan of other teams, and there's other big games, playoff games, where I felt really excited and nervous at the same time. I guess the closest I got to this was the Nashville Leagues Cup final, but I don't even think I felt this way, because with that final, possible first trophy, but if you lose, we're still on the Messi high. Look, Messi just got here a month ago, and he took us all the way to a final already. Like it was different. This is like a nervousness, because if we lose, it's a disaster. Yeah. So it's been the week leading up is it's interesting.
Yeah, I'll leave it with this. Like, if there's one tournament we've been good at getting locked into, it's Champions League. This is our 3rd one. We made the final the first 2. So every Champions League we've made it to the final. So it's been a tournament that we've been pretty successful at. We just haven't gotten to the place that only Seattle's gotten to. So, it's don't count us out.
For sure. And where was it? I lost it. I lost the comment. Oh, there it goes. Danny, how do you feel about Arsenal giving you 3 goals? Declan Rice, he was going to score that on anybody. Doesn't matter what team it was against. If you watch it, there's a still shot of one of those free kicks, and right now I'm talking about the Champions League game between Real Madrid and Arsenal, and look at where he placed this free kick. Nobody's getting that. Like, who's gonna get that? Like, those 2 free kicks were as beautiful free kicks if I've seen anybody take, and it happened minutes apart from each other. So you really can't be mad at it. And I promise you, you talk to an Arsenal fan, and they still don't feel comfortable because unfortunately for everybody else, Real Madrid they made like a deal with the devil when it comes to Champions League, and I'm sure that Arsenal fans still don't feel comfortable with the 3-0 lead. So, but yeah, the amazing free kicks. But back to IMCF and LAFC. We covered everything. Anything else that you want to touch on before we head out of here, Erik? Any questions that you have for us?
Not too much. I mean, the only thing, and this is not related to this game, is that we don't play Miami more often. You know, well, you guys are a fun East team and I think we're a pretty fun West team as well. And
yes,
it just doesn't happen much. One of the other things that I remember about Miami is this is probably 3 or 4 years ago. If you remember, there was that big incident with the fans at the match in Atlas in Mexico. And I remember I don't know what happened, but the first reports is that a bunch of fans got killed at the game because the fans started riding against each other. It was Atlas, and I forget the other team. But we ended up playing in Miami 3 or 4 days after that. I remember the 32-52, and the Miami supporters all made a point to go out and party together the night before the game just to show solidarity as soccer fans. And that, you know,
I remember that. Yeah.
And so for me, this is always one of the things I'm going to remember about Miami and how our supporters groups got together to kind of just say, hey, you know, this is a game. We need to enjoy the game, but the violence has no place. And they had that time. So for me, like, this is always to be something I'll remember about Miami FC.
One of the biggest, or no, the biggest supporters group we have is called Vice City. And we had Bruyne on here from Vice City and Caesar also from Vice City. And they were telling us that they got together with, I forgot what supporter groups it was from LAFC.
It was probably the D9, District 9 Ultras.
It might be. I don't want to say just because I don't remember exactly, but it might be. But I do remember they told us that they kind of helped Vice City in a lot of this is how we do this is how we do
organization,
that.
Some guidance.
So it was really cool. And so LAFC and Inter Miami have that connection through the supporters groups and just in general. I mean, it was the first match we ever played. So it's very cool. And then we love Erik. So that's it. But I don't know so much how I feel about Ace. He says, does it hurt? I'm going to disappoint you, Ace. And I feel really bad in doing this. But let me disappoint you right now.
They're never going to listen to you.
No, not just that. Real Madrid could literally stop existing tomorrow, and I wouldn't give a crap. I support them. That's fine. They play in Europe. I've never been to Europe. I've never been to Madrid. I support them. But honestly, if they lose, it doesn't hurt me. Honestly, I just enjoy rooting for them because it annoys so many people. So it makes it a little funner because it annoys so many. But I could give 3 craps. Now, if Inter Miami loses on Wednesday, that'll hurt me. But Madrid losing, I don't give a crap. They really
they
don't.
Literally
I support them.
Any of those words.
It really does not doesn't faze me.
I guarantee you there's at least 3 comments on this video next week about you being a Real Madrid fan.
No, the only team that like gives me a bad feeling the next day when they lose is LAFC. Like any other team, I shrug it off. I do my thing, but when they lose a bad game, like the next day, I'll feel bummed out all day because, man, you know, soccer's passion, and look, you guys are here doing a podcast. I'm doing a podcast. This is how much we love our teams. It's like, not only do we watch them, we want to sit and talk about it with each other, and everybody in the chat. We all have this passion, you know, and it's what makes the sport different.
The only other team that I feel something for, but it's because of the connection to my father, is Deportivo Pereira. At his club growing up. So it was really cool watching them win their first championship a couple years ago. And that team, just based off of the love for my father and his love for the club, that one. But even that, I don't follow as closely as I obviously do Inter Miami. Inter Miami is my squad. That and international soccer, right? International is a whole other beast. But just talking club soccer, you know. It's
U.S. international soccer is kind of a joke. It's been a joke for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whole other show.
It's always country over club. David, come on now.
Oh no, I'm club. David knows because he heard my last show. No, I remember a couple of years ago, like we had some big games, and I got pissed that like Kellen Acosta and Aaron Long were going. I was like, "Fuck national team! Like we got club football." Like, yeah. But of course, my team.
Oh, you would love Robert Taylor.
Yeah, it's not like the U.S. national team. Like LAFC is going to do way more than they were going to achieve. So it's like, man, you guys go where we're going to do the most good here, because that's a lost cause.
Well, I will tell you, I do like to get into it with a lot of Argentinian fans, because I know we have a lot of them because of Messi. But I mean, I can't say too much because of the fact that I'm Colombian, and I mean, we do nothing.
Yeah. So my wife is a huge soccer fan and a brasilera, and so not only does she not like other fans, she doesn't like Argentinians either, because their rivalries.
Well, I mean, yeah, and Argentines feel the same.
Oh yeah, they feel the same way about Brazil.
Yeah.
A lot of Messi Porra and Porra Caralho, all that.
It's all fun.
Yeah.
All right, Erik, as always, we appreciate you coming on to hang out with us. Usually on the Battered MLS Fans, not so much on here because, like you said, we unfortunately don't play with each other. But we do appreciate you coming and take the time, and let everybody know where they could find you if they choose to hear a little more about LAFC.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, Erik Holstrom. Also contribute to Pitchside US, which is bunch of journalists, a lot of them Brazilian, but we cover a lot of the crossover between MLS and Brasileiro and players coming through. And then Section 128 is our LAFC show, which is typically every Monday at 5 p.m.
That's where you sit, I'm assuming, when you're in the stadium, right?
Yep. 120 is where I sit in the stadium.
Okay. We're 124.
All right. Nice.
Would have been cool. It would have been cool if we would have had the same section.
124, that's like for LAFC, those are some pretty nice club seats.
Oh yeah, definitely not us.
Yeah,
definitely not us. You should see the prices that they're selling the new stadium club seats for. It's wild. It's gonna be luxury for sure. They literally, it's just the west stand. The whole west side of the stadium is just premium seats. That's it. The whole west side.
Yeah,
the other place I've seen like that is Nashville.
Our tickets are pretty expensive. Like talking to other MLS fans, like our tickets, I think are about where Miami's tickets are now, except ours have always been at a higher price. Yeah. I mean,
Hollywood.
Yeah, no, 100%. And our stadium's downtown. I know, Daniel, I think your pops was by there last week. I mean,
yep. Yeah, I sent you a picture. Yeah.
Our stadium is gorgeous. From the corner, you can see the downtown skyline. I mean, we're right next to the Coliseum where the '84 Olympics were held, and it's a great part of the city and beautiful view. So it's if you haven't been to our stadium and seen the 3252, who I think is really, I mean, they're
probably the best supporters groups, honestly, in the country. I think
100%, and not only with you guys, I know with like Austin FC. They were inspired a lot by 3252, and those guys, their supporters do a really good job as well. Like they're really loud, they bring a lot of energy. It's like supporters groups just need to bring a lot of energy to the stadium, and a lot of the newer teams, such as you guys, Austin, have done a great job at that. So it's that's
I have
really
a hope that our supporters groups are going to grow when we move to a new stadium, because our supporters groups are awesome. They don't stop. They go from beginning to end, but. Maybe it's because of our layout. It just doesn't look the same as I've seen in other stadiums on TV, at least.
Yeah,
in person it looks good, but
the new stadium they're gonna have a partial roof over it.
Yeah, it's gonna go.
The one you have is just open air, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This is what it's gonna look like. So it's gonna be covered. All the seats are covered. It's beautiful.
It's gonna hold the sound in much better. If you guys get nice and loud in there, it's gonna be nice. You won't even need much more than drums to keep everybody on time.
No, and we'll be able to go to weekday games, which is the best part.
Yep. Nice.
All right, Chris, any final words?
I can't wait to watch this game tomorrow. It's going to be a blast, and I'm also going to be nervous. Guys, if you haven't gone out and gotten tickets, get them and go out there. If you live close by, 30, 40 minutes within, go ahead and get to the game, man. It's going to be a fun time.
I'm about to say, that's very hypocritical of you telling people to go, and then you're saying you're not going to go.
Well, 30 minutes away from the stadium.
No, yeah.
Reasonable.
Well, you said that afterwards, so okay. Okay, that's better. Because, all right. Well, it's been a great time. It's Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to it. Vancouver's playing tonight, aren't they? We find out if it's Vancouver or Pumas.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna keep an eye on that also to see who it is that will be playing against next time. Because I mean, you don't want to play against Vancouver for the 56th time, do you?
I mean, it's the thing is a tough call. Vancouver, they're a better Vancouver than they were. Like, they're a good team this year. I think they're definitely a sleeper team, and I think they're a really solid dark horse.
And Vancouver plays after us tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. And Liga MX teams, they're always tough. It doesn't really matter who. Pumas, I mean, of the Liga MX teams left, I'd rather play Pumas than Club America. I mean, the Club America team right now is Club America is, they're historically the most successful team in CONCACAF. And this year's version of them is one of the better versions that they've had. So they're a really scary team. Cruz Azul is always scary. I mean, yeah, the Liga
we beat Club America in the preseason, so
we beat them in the preseason, yeah. So it's preseason, it's not the Conca final, because I mean they flex that they have seven CCL trophies. And I believe Club America has won the Mundial as well. I think they might be the only CONCACAF team to win the Mundial. Although I have to look that up. I'm not 100% on that.
Can I bring
Erik is a great guest. I wish he was on more. Follow Battered MLS fans, because he gets on with us quite often. So go ahead, Chris.
I want to mention something because people are bringing up this whole egg deal from yesterday.
Egg deal?
So Chris, Stancy's saying Chris ate that egg from the day before. He's probably sick. I want to let everybody know I ended up making them breakfast this morning. Okay,
just in case people are confused. Okay. What is that? Do you put chocolate on your eggs?
No, that's sausage.
It's because because I made the sausage first. Yeah, I burned the crap out of the sausage, right? And then I used the same pan after. I didn't put butter, and I cooked the eggs on top of what I just cooked with the sausage, which is why they came out brown. But they were fresh, and I made also some cheese as well.
What you need, if you're going to cook it in another, you need a cast iron skillet, my friend, for this.
Well, that's the problem. I don't have a cast iron skillet. I burned my own sausage. Yes, that's absolutely correct. I will make better eggs, but that's what happens when I make eggs in the morning. I'm in a rush. I'm trying to get out.
Oh, you didn't make them last night?
No, I didn't. I made them this morning. I just said that. I made them this morning instead of yesterday, so I couldn't take my time.
And for those of you wondering where this conversation is coming from, this was a conversation we had on the Spanish show last night, Las Garzas CF. So we had this conversation last night because Chris, before we even did predictions, he's asking to get off the show. Well, we're about to do the predictions because he needs to go cook his breakfast for the next day. So,
Erik, is it a bad thing to cook breakfast the day before and eat it? Pack it in a to-go box and eat it the next day?
I mean, if your life is that hectic, I mean, it's better than nothing.
It's not hectic.
What do you mean it's not? I mean, I have the time at nighttime. I can calmly make my breakfast.
You go into work whenever you want. Like, you don't have a hectic schedule.
I mean, breakfast takes 15 minutes tops to make. I mean, you toast, you put some eggs.
At first, when he said that, I thought it was like overnight oats. Like, okay, overnight oats, I get it, overnight, but it's just an egg.
Listen, it's not an egg. It's two eggs. It's fried cheese, and it was sausage. And I burned them this morning, thanks to you, Danny.
All right. Well, if you're listening on audio,
extends the cooking time for sure.
Yes. That's what happens because I was making my coffee at the same time.
Please just don't do it at the same time. Please give us 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the videos. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, for those of you in the chat, we appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour. You guys are the best part of the show. And if you want to keep talking some footy, we'll be on at Battered MLS Fans doing the recap for match day 7 in 3 or 4 minutes. So go ahead, jump on Battered MLS Fans if you want to hear a little more football from me and Chris. So until the next one, which will be tomorrow's post game, have a good one.
This is the best part.